If you've ever wanted to completely wipe out high interest debt and build a bulletproof foundation for your financial future, then this video is for you. I'm going to show you exactly how to execute an advanced strategy to consolidate your debt using a HELOC. And you might think that getting the HELOC is the hard part, but you'd be surprised. Let's get into it. Think about a rocket ship. When it shoots up into space, the majority of its energy and fuel is just used to get off the ground and escape the Earth's atmosphere and escape the Earth's gravitational pull. But once it's in space, there's virtually no resistance. It's kind of just gliding. And in order to maintain its speed, it barely uses any fuel at all. Consolidating debt and building wealth is exactly the same. You probably have people in your social circle who have a lot of equity in their home. Maybe they have no credit card stress and they're still going out to dinners and taking out these nice vacations every once in a while. And you might be sitting there thinking, how are they doing that? They don't even look like they're budgeting that hard. Those people have reached what I like to call the exit point. It's when you've reached the point when you've escaped the pull of gravity and compound interest is no longer your enemy, but it's your friend. And I'm not talking about you living your life like an extreme penny pincher who eats rice and beans for a decade and never leaves your home. Those people actually have a miserable time maintaining that lifestyle, and most people can't even do it. I'm talking about you doing the hard work of looking through your finances and structuring it so that maintaining your financial freedom becomes incredibly easy from here on out. You might be thinking, I have a home that is 2% or 3% interest rate, and I'm never going to give this up. But you also may have 6 figures in credit card debt. Yes, those people exist. And if you're one of them, you need to pay attention and watch this thing to the very end because this is for you. And even if you don't have 6 figures in credit card debt, the information in this video is going to be invaluable to you to frame your mindset as you go through this life and think about your finances and think about debt and the different interest rates that are part of your life. The biggest debt that most people have is their first mortgage. Like I said, most people that I talk to have anywhere between a 2 and a 3% mortgage rate because they bought their home before the pandemic and they refinanced at the lowest rate in history, right? That's the first category. The second category that we see often is student debt. And then there's other consumer debt like credit cards and personal loans. And this video is not trying to say whether or not borrowing is good or bad. Money is a tool. It's not inherently evil. It's how you use it that determines whether something is good or bad, in my opinion. But when it comes to consolidating debt, the main factor that people run into is the credit cards. It's that the end of the spectrum where the interest rates are the highest. I've seen even high as 28% interest rate for credit cards. And once you start hitting 5-digit credit card balances, and depending on where your income levels are at, it becomes a very daunting task to pay that off. If you have a spreadsheet, take some time, look at all the things that you're making payments on, whether that's your credit cards, your cars, your student loans, or your house. All of that goes onto a spreadsheet. Lay out for yourself, what is the balance that you owe? What is the interest rate that you're paying? What is the balance that you owe? What's the interest rate? What is the monthly payment? And how long am I paying this for? So if you have a pen and paper at home, do this. Let's make the first column the thing that you bought, the thing that you borrowed money to buy, whether that's a house, a car, student debt, whatever. The next column, you want to put down the interest rate. Is it 3%, 4%, 25%? Write it down. The next column, I want you to write, how much is your monthly payment? And then this is the most important column. How long will it take for you to pay off this loan or this debt? And do it represented in the number of months that you have. If it's a year left of payment, then you would write 12 months. And finally, the last thing, the last line on that Excel sheet is multiply the last two together and you see how much money you'll be spending per item. If you have a monthly payment of $100 for the next 12 months, that's $1,200 total that you're paying. And this goes with each credit card too. Each credit card should have its own line dedicated to it. So if you have 5 different credit cards, let's say, then you should have 5 different lines. You could have credit card 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, each with their own line and their own payments and own interest rates. And if you do have credit cards, make sure you note what the actual limits are on those credit cards. That's going to be important for later. And doing this exercise will give you a bird's eye view of what your financial roadmap will look like. Now, if you've got that Excel sheet filled out, eyes up, pay attention up here. All right. It's going to be very clear to see how much money that you're going to be spending to take care of this borrowed money, this borrowed consumerism. Again, there's no moral statement about consumerism or borrowing money to buy things. That's just part of life in America. What I am saying is, if you have a lot of it and you can't pay it back every month, we need to take care of this. And you may have some options if you're a homeowner. If you're not a homeowner, this video may not be for you. Take a look at the items that have the highest interest rate. So before we can start cooking, we need to trim the fat off of this brisket. And if you're unfamiliar with barbecue terminology, when you buy a brisket from the market, you don't just put salt on it and throw it into the smoker. You have to trim the fat, the hard fats, the parts that are not going to render, the parts that you don't want in your body. When we relate that back to your Excel sheet, what are the items, the hard, fat, unrenderable items, the things that you don't want in your life that you need to cut? There's essentially a lot of ways to attack this problem, but the most efficient way to do it is you take each item that has a double-digit interest rate and you total up all the balance owed. That is the amount that you want to consolidate using something like a HELOC. And this video, remember, is an advanced HELOC strategy on how to consolidate debt. And the reason why we use a HELOC is because modern day HELOCs come with very low fees and interest rates compared to any other program. And also, a HELOC, unlike a home equity loan, a standard home equity loan, allows you to reutilize funds if you have paid back significant parts of the principal during the draw period. And if you're not sure what I just said in terms of draw period or HELOC or HELOan, we have other videos that explain it. This is not a beginner-friendly video. If you don't know what a HELOC is, we have plenty of videos on our playlist, HELOCs Explained. Go watch those and then come back to this later. But for those of you who do know what a HELOC is, and you want to know what is a good strategy on how to consolidate and how to think about consolidating your debt, remember, targeting the double-digit interest rate, like your credit cards at 20%, 22, 25% credit cards, those are the things that we want to sum up all of the balances. And I want to get a HELOC to pay these off. Why? Because we're essentially trading your mid-20s interest rates into something in the low double digits or single-digit interest rates. If you're lucky and you're coming to me before your credit has taken a huge hit, you may qualify for a single-digit interest rate HELOC, and that would be an amazing win for you. But if you found this a little bit late and your credit score is in the mid-600s or the low 600s, that's okay. Getting a low double-digit interest rate is still worlds better than having a mid-20% interest rate. But Peter, what if I don't have a mid-600 or low 600? What if I'm in the 500s? What do I do? Well, technically, you would not qualify for a HELOC if you have under 640 FICO. That's not the rules that I make up. That's the lender guidelines that most lenders go by. Some lenders can let you go down to 600 if you are doing specific debt consolidation, but that's not every lender. So if you're in the ballpark right around 600 to 640 FICO score and you want to boost it up before you get into a HELOC, we made a video talking about how to boost your credit score. There's going to be a link in the description, but long story short, focus on the utilization. There's a lot of resources online that you can find that talk about how to boost your credit score. But the most important one that I've noticed is paying attention to the utilization. If your credit card is maxed out or close to maxed out, that will have the biggest negative effect on your credit score. The closer each of your cards are to 30% utilized, meaning if you have $100, that's your credit limit that you can spend $100, but you've only used $30, that's 30% utilization. So if you're maxed out, you're somewhere near probably 100% utilization. You want to work your way as close as you can, as evenly as possible towards the 30% mark. And if you can't get there before our conversation, that's okay. We can probably still make it work. So if you want to do credit repair on your own, the most powerful ways to do your own credit repair is pay down the cards that have the highest utilization and get them to close to 30%. And that's not my words. That's literally from the Experian website. You can go check it out yourself. But if you want to take care of all of your credit cards in one shot using a lower interest rate loan like a HELOC, and you qualify with your income and you qualify with your credit and you have enough equity in your house to do it, then this becomes an incredible tool for you. I've personally seen customers who barely qualified with me, got into a very low double-digit HELOC, and in 8 to 9 months, their credit score shot up 100 to 120 points. I'm not saying that's going to happen to you. I'm not going to guarantee anything, but I'm just telling you from my own personal experiences, that's what I've seen. Now, all of this is great. And if you're able to reset your credit in this way to get a HELOC, to consolidate your high interest debts, that's an amazing feat in and of itself, right? And you should absolutely be congratulated for taking the steps necessary to get all of your financial ducks in a row. But you haven't hit escape velocity yet. You were underwater and now we're at sea level. We haven't taken off on the rocket ship yet. This is the hard part that I was talking about, where you're going to be spending the majority of your energy. Once you have zero balance on your credit cards, all of those loans have shifted over to your HELOC. Your payments may have gone from several $1,000s to several $100s. And that's going to free up a lot of cash for you to breathe. The temptation, again, is spending that money the same way you were before and getting yourself into double the amount of debt. That is not what we want for you guys. That is not what debt consolidation is meant for. Debt consolidation is meant for you to get from underwater onto ground level so that you can actually make efforts to escape the gravitational pull of compounding interest and eventually make it work for you. So now that we're on ground level, what do we need to do to get out of the atmosphere? So my suggestion is, if you're used to paying several $1,000s for your credit cards, you know that you can probably survive doing that same payment for the next couple years within reason. If you apply that same payment towards your new HELOC, meaning you're paying extra towards the principal, then you will literally speed through the amortization table, saving yourself a ton of interest and time. I'll throw this on the screen for you guys right now, but this is just an example of when you pay extra towards the principal balance of any loan, you're able to shortcut through the amortization table, saving yourself potentially tens of thousands of dollars in interest payments. And now, a lot of people online may be telling you this is a better way to own your home faster. I would heavily disagree, because your home may be in a 2 or 3% mortgage, and trading that 2 or 3% mortgage for a higher interest rate mortgage like a HELOC is not advisable, in my opinion. However, trading your 15 to 25% interest rate for something like a 9% or 8% interest rate, that makes a lot of sense, because not only is your minimum payment much lower, you'll be done paying this in potentially 5 years or 6 years. Now, this is why I say it's the hard part. 5 years isn't a short amount of time. If you have the income to throw even more money at this, you could probably be done with your credit card payments in a couple years. But either way, whether it's 2, 5, or 10 years that you're working to pay this debt off, it's going to take a lot of discipline. And we've come up with a system to help you kind of navigate through this next step, the takeoff phase from ground level or sea level into the stratosphere. So this is what I like to call the PTSB Consistency System. The first letter, P, stands for proximity. If you keep your credit cards in your wallet and you're too close to the danger, once the HELOC clears the debt, you just keep the plastic away from your wallet. Delete the Apple Pay, the Amazon, delete the cards that you have that you don't need. Maybe keep 1, maybe 2 that you're keeping a very, very close eye on. Set up alerts, set up limits for yourself, because proximity to easy spending will ruin you. T stands for timing. Remember, timing matters. Set your HELOC payments on autopay. Don't be late on your HELOC. Do not default on your HELOC. For the love of God, don't default on your HELOC. And if you can afford it, and you should be able to afford it because you are making thousands of dollars of minimum payments, pay extra and pay often. The thing about amortization tables is that they go based off of monthly schedules. But if you're hitting the principal and you're chipping away at it weekly, you're actually saving a little bit more money when it comes to interest payments. So if you've committed to pay $1,000 to your HELOC and that includes a minimum plus extra, then you know that's a sustainable amount for the next 5 to 10 years or whatever term that makes sense for you. Instead of paying $1,000 every month, try paying $250 every week. That'll actually help you get to the finish line faster. And then S stands for speed. Speed to action. Don't delay waiting for the perfect interest rate environment. If you're paying 25 to 29% today, waiting 6 months to see if HELOC rates drop by 1/4% is insane. Do your research, make a good decision, but act sooner than later, because every month that goes by, you paying those monthly minimums is just throwing away money at interest. And B stands for boundaries. If you cannot set boundaries for yourself or your family or your friends to protect this new cash flow, you will fail. Let me say that again. Set boundaries between yourself, your family, your friends, and protect the new cash flow that you have. When you suddenly have an extra $1,500 a month because you consolidated your debt, the temptation to go on trips, the temptation to go get that extra dinner every month or week, it's going to be there. You have to set clear boundaries to protect the system that you just built. And the critical difference between people who consolidate debt once and keep it off the books forever is this. You have to love having financial peace more than loving the instant gratification of buying stuff that you don't need. So if you've been at the heavy end of the interest spectrum, drowning in minimum payments, and you're stressed, feeling like you're suffocating every time you look up your bank app, maybe you don't even want to look at your bank app because it's just scary to look at, right? We've all been there. Getting this HELOC will help you transition into a place where you'll have a cleaned up balance sheet, you'll free up your cash flow, and it's gonna feel really good. The hard part, like I said, you're gonna have to do the hard work, setting up those boundaries and protect the peace that you just created using the HELOC. We've all watched those space movies, Apollo 13, Interstellar, Hail Mary Project. Something always goes wrong in space. So despite all of this, life is still gonna throw you a loop, right? Your roof might start leaking, your car transmission might blow, you might have a medical emergency. So it's very important that you do not let these ups and downs throw you completely off your system. This is gonna be the biggest thing that destroys your consolidated balance sheet. People get hit with $5,000 emergency, panic, and suddenly they're back on the credit card trap. You have to have a hard line with yourself. You say, okay, an emergency happened. I will use a small portion of my HELOC to fix the roof, but I will not let my balance get past this specific point. What does that mean? It means you may need to give other things up in order to stay on track. Everybody has that line, and it's your job to figure out what that line is for you, but the most important thing is you have to hold it. So if you want to build a debt consolidation strategy and you want to talk the numbers through with a professional that does this on a daily basis, you can schedule a call with us at the Clear Close. Use the link in the description. There's going to be a floating QR code somewhere on the screen. Go ahead and scan that if you're watching this on your TV. And if you're interested in listening to a conversation between Jason and me, the other half of the Clear Close, we had a nice conversation and talking about different case studies that we are able to present to you guys on YouTube, and just giving you an idea of what people were getting themselves into and how they got out of it using a HELOC. So I'm going to link that video here. You can go ahead, check that out, and we'll see you in that one.